along with Andy Shoemaker, do your commentating tonight. And I'll tell you what, it's a nice night for a ball game, Andy. It's doesn't look like there's too many clouds in the sky, and really not too warm. And I think we're in for a pretty good ball game tonight. What do you think?
Perfect night for football, Matt. Magnolia coming in at 3-1. 3 victories against River, Grafton, and a hard-fought victory last week over Barnesville. Their only loss coming to a powerful Shenandoah Zep team. Of course, our own Seminoles coming in a perfect 5-0. Really, Matt, tonight's when we really find out what we got. We look at our past 5 victories. Some of our opponents weren't up to their PVC standards this year. Yeah, we beat a trail team and a Shadyside team. But the last 3 opponents have been below 500 squads. So tonight I believe we find out what we have and set the tone for, really the meat of our schedule.
Yeah, exactly. And like we had said last week when I was with Chuck, we said, this is where we start getting into the meat of our schedule. We've got Magnolia this week, Shenandoah next week, and then Barnesville. And then, of course, Frontier, and then, of course, rival Bellsville. And I'll tell you what, this Magnolia team, even though they have lost a game, they are a really strong team. They're a pretty good-sized team, too.
Talkington, their do-it-all athlete over here in New Martinsville will kick off. Gabe Gordon deep.
Goes to Brown. Goes up the middle. He cuts it outside. And I'll tell you what, he's down at about the 46-yard line of Magnolia, and that was a nice return by Aaron Brown.
Just a sort of a squib kick handled by Brown, and he's always been an exciting return man. Looked like a return middle. He found some room to the outside and had all kinds of room. And the best thing about that play was, Matt, no yellow laundry on the field.
Exactly. He took a pretty good stick there, but it doesn't matter. He got the yardage.
So good. Trips right, split left. Excuse me.
Ishii on the keep. And he gets probably about 4 yards out of that. I think that was a keep all the way, Andy.
Right, we've seen the Seminoles play year in and year out, and a lot of times when they go trips or twins right or left, they'll try to slip the quarterback up the middle. And even though the opponents seem to know the play, they can't seem to stop the speed, and picked up a nice 6-yard gain on first down.
Exactly. Of course, you know as well as I do, it's all done right up front, with the linemen. And Monroe Central is kind of evenly matched, I think, up there tonight.
Magnolia's a 6-man front. Gordon up the middle for what's close to a first down. Looking across the line of scrimmage here, Matt, they got some nice size, 220, 240, 260 size linemen in there at the Blue Eagle defense.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the thing about it is, Andy, Magnolia always has been big up on the line, but sometimes it doesn't matter how big you are, it's, how you block and, speed and everything else.
Look at that defense, Matt. You got 11 guys right there in the box.
Well, apparently, I'm sure by now Coach Cost has probably, seen that already. So the penalty on Monroe Central, legal procedure.
So Gordon not able to pick up the first down on second down, and that's really a costly penalty. It takes a 3rd and 1 back to about a 3rd and about a 6.
Like you said, Andy, they are bringing a lot of people up in the box. I'm kind of interested to see what this next play is going to be. So, dive to Aaron Brown. Picks up maybe a yard and a half. Brings up 4th down and about 3.
So the procedure penalty really costly early on here for the Noles as a, seemingly not so hard to gain 3rd and 1. And not able to pick it up on 3rd down, and probably brings up a punting formation. And that'll be
David Spielman back to punt for Monroe Central.
32 Talkington back to receive the punt. He'll let that one go, and it'll go into the end zone. So after a good opening kickoff return by Brown Dogger there, Monroe Central offense not able to get anything going, and we'll play the field position game and hope for a 3-and-out here. And the defense all around the valley is known for only giving up an average of 2 points per game.
Well, and then the thing about it is, Magnolia is not too far behind us as far as their defense giving up, too many points. But but I think like I said, the first couple series here is kind of like a field situation to see what each one of them is going to do. And I'll tell you what, that was a nice play over there on defensive end. Trying to make out the number.
Looks like Sean 80, number 72.
I'll tell you what, defensive end over there on that side did a good job by staying his ground and stringing it out. And,
that's Fergie, I'm sorry.
Fergie came, okay, I'll tell you what, and he ended up getting maybe about a 6-yard loss on that, Andy?
Yeah, big, we find out what Kemp is going to do. He rolls out early and often, and he's a pretty good and strong thrower, but Fergie able to maintain out there.
Gabe Gordon in on the tackle.
Nothing up the middle there on sort of a sprint draw type play, and Gabe right there, all-state defensive player.
Yeah,
so not going to fool Gabe too often.
That was a good job by the Monroe Central linebackers there. They closed in, and of course, you know as well as I do, that's the job of the linebackers. They break past that 1 or 2 yard line of scrimmage. It's their job to come up and make the tackle.
Magnolia goes from a shotgun, trips right, he'll roll to his right. A lot of pressure.
Nice play. Gabe Gordon in on the blitz, and along with Dan Miller and Curtis Merrick, and that was just one heck of a defensive play.
Just absolutely no time, and buried by Gordon and a couple other Seminole defenders. So you talk about the field position game. They start out at the 20, and they'll punt this ball. They'll snap this ball from their own 5. And, you talk about field position game, and this is exactly what Coach wanted, although we'd like to get something going offensively on the first drive. But strong performance by the defense. Nice high
punt. Ishii takes it, calls for fair catch. I'll tell you, anything about it is, I think one of the things that Jay has worked with this week on defense, along with Coach Sherman and Coach Singleton, is if you don't give that quarterback time to throw, then he's not going to complete any passes.
Right, it's the old saying: the best pass defense is when the quarterback's on his back.
Exactly.
So that's what we need all night long is the pass rush, and able to get that done with 4 guys, and sometimes we'll send that linebacker.
Give to Brown. I would say probably maybe about a half-yard loss on that.
Little counter action in the backfield. Magnolia not fooled. Their backside of their line stayed home, was able to stuff Brown. Or actually, up here it looks like a 1-yard loss. So I was good for 2nd and 11. Their own 38-yard line, and you talk about field position, and sometimes you think inside the 40 like this. We got 3 downs or 4 down territory, 3 more to get this 11 yards. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I tell you what, those 3 or 4 downs can go by awful quick though too.
So we'll go Twins to our left, still in the shotgun.
Oh. A drop by Sean George. I think he was trying to run with it before he caught it, Andy.
Yeah, how many times you see that? Costly every time, especially on a 2nd down play where he seemed to have some room to run. I noticed we had some protection in there. Ishii with a nice ball in the flat, just wasn't able to execute the catch there by George. So
I'll tell you what, that brings up a long 3rd down here.
So we'll see what we got. We'll go be a rip formation. I backfield got motion. I'm not sure, Matt, if he felt pressure and decided to run on his own or if that was a called play, but got to have a little patience back here in the pocket.
Well, that's true, and he did step up, but he still had that far defensive end. I think he caught him out of the corner of his eye and just decided to run with the ball.
But just as soon as we say, boy, great field position, a minute went by and here we're punting again. Try to get this one down inside the 10-yard line and try to hit that corner.
It's in the end zone.
You know, Matt, we really only pick up about 16 yards on that punt. But early on, a couple failed offensive opportunities, basically just field position things here. That, you know, I'm sure that you never know how many chances, you know, you'll get as the game goes on. So still no first downs. And we got 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
Well, like I said before, Andy, this is kind of a field situation here. First couple series, and got to look for either team to try to break it open here within the next few minutes.
Magnolia with a lot of movement in the backfield. They'll just go pitch to their left, and cornerback comes up strong.
That looked like
that's Brown Dog coming
that
up.
Looks like Brown Dog coming up and making the tackle. Then 80 coming in and finishing them off.
Loss of 2, second down and 12.
I'll tell you what, so far, Andy, it looks like on defense for Monroe Central, their defensive secondary has come up and making some decent tackles tonight.
We'll line up in a 4-4 defense, and they'll run a little counter in the backfield, nothing going again. Good job in there by Sean 80.
Looks like Sean 80 and Gabe Gordon came out to make a stop too. Yeah, it's hard to see some of these guys that make the initial first hit because they're always on the bottom of the pile. And it seems like the kid that comes in and makes the second hit is always the kid that's announced. So we'll try to do our best to try to.
Right, you know how linebackers are. The defensive linemen always take on as much contact as they can to free up the linebackers,
and that's part of their
job. Kemp back to pass, and he'll go deep, and the receivers seem to stop for a minute.
Incomplete, no flag. So that brings up 4th down and 12 for Magnolia Blue Eagles.
So once again, Monroe Central able to hold the advantage in field position, at least for the moment, as Magnolia prepares the punt.
You got Brown and Ishii back deep for Monroe Central. I'll tell you what, so far, and it's, you know, both sides is pretty good defensive stands.
So we'll see if the special teams coach wants to get any pressure on the punter. Although a lot of times, if you got field position, you don't want to take any chances.
Brown takes the punt.
Get a block.
Breaks to the outside.
Yeah, look from up here, Matt. You got a little room to the outside of that, but Brown Dog always a good return man, so we won't question his ability and what he saw there.
When you're down there on the field, it's a lot easier or a lot harder to see than when you're up here where we're at.
Right, we saw it up here, but still, you know, like we said, each time we start the offensive series, we seem to get a little closer. Our field position now is at the 36-yard line. A couple first downs here, you know, really get something going here offensively, hopefully. He's out there.
He's rolling out. Hits going out of the backfield. He picks up looks like about maybe 9 yards on that.
Nice play there, Matt, how we seem to get a little flow going. And you see that a lot in the NFL, and they'll slip Gabe through the line of scrimmage and flow actually back away from the action, and there he was wide open there in the flat.
That might be the key to this game. Maybe just hitting your backside of the backfield, maybe just hitting the shorter passes. You know, so far this game has been played inside the 50-yard line, you know, on Magnolia's side. So, and I'm sure that's an advantage to Monroe Central.
Yes, he just, sometimes he can audible, sometimes he sees something, sometimes it's called in the huddle, but he tried to sneak out himself, and he did pick up the first down of the ball game.
And now we've got a little bit of room to work with, Andy. Maybe we'll, you know, see something break open here.
Right, and I always brag on Jeff Stevens when he does Channel 6, how he can keep track of the stats. Well, I tell you right now, I'll keep track of first downs because it's not too hard at this point with only one.
Got a wing right. She drops back to pass. Nice catch. Oh, I thought Kenny had that. But it was a nice effort by Kenny Robinson on that pass.
Sort of looked like the same play, although they went to the deep man to the wide side of the field there, and Kenny really laid out there. And we thought for a minute he caught it.
Nice effort by Kenny
But
Robinson.
yeah, you can't ask for anything better. And really, as a quarterback, if you put it there and he makes the catch, that's great. But, you take that on first down there and come up a little bit short, but we'll go.
Good call for first down now.
That's a lateral. Get on it.
Yeah, incomplete. Referee's called incomplete pass.
Yeah, we thought up here for a minute it could have been a lateral, but Ishii had her nice, really nice touch on that last pass. Really missed his target there. His first year quarterback, his sixth game as a quarterback. Still trying to fine-tune those passing skills.
Exactly.
Does an exceptional job back there.
Of course, Josh taking out of his wide receiver spot from last year and putting the quarterback this year. And to be honest with you, Andy, so far I think he's done a pretty good job.
Yeah, he's able to adapt very well.
Throws over the middle, complete to Kenny Robinson. And looks like he picked up the first down.
Just as we talked about Ishii's athletic ability there, he ducked away from a sack, stayed right in there, and fired a nice shot to an open Kenny Robinson. And that big body and that big target was actually able to shield the Blue Eagle defender. And, the passing game's come a long way from when you and I played, Matt.
Sure.
It seemed like we ran the ball and threw deep.
Yeah.
Never threw the second or, the third receiver. And it's nice to see sometimes the check off.
I'll tell you what, Andy, just like in the past, of course, when I coached, and it's the same Magnolia team, they're bringing their linebackers just about every play or every other play. So I'm sure Coach Sherman's kind of keying on that a little bit. I'm sure they worked on that this week. And that just shows you right there, that last play, they brought their linebackers and stopped Brown Dog in the backfield.
All right. Just a quick toss to the left. The Brown Dog will try to get to the corner. He'll be thrown down just short of the goal line. And it looks like he's fumbled out of bounds. Fumbled into the end zone, out of bounds. Hard to believe there, Matt.
I don't understand that one at all, Andy.
Well, it looked like we thought he was going to get the score. Brown Dog actually fumbled the ball. It rolled into the end zone and then out of the side of the end zone, which means it's a touchback. We're going the other way. So we go from inches away from the goal line to we're back on playing defense. So a stunned Seminole crowd has to regroup as the defense does, because I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if Magnolia comes out firing after that lucky break there.
Well, I think, like I said, this is a real good test right here from Monroe Central defense. After, like I said, being close to scoring and then having to come back and after a fumble and trying to hold them, to little to no yardage at all. Magnolia still trying to run from the middle on Monroe Central, and I'd be honest with you, and I don't think they're going to get too much, up the middle on these guys.
But a lot of good athletes on this Magnolia squad. Still a lot of time left early on. You wonder if they're seeing what's here, setting something up for later. I'm sure that's part of the game plan.
Exactly.
And right now this is the best third down situation they've been in all night. A lot of times they've been 3rd 10 or longer. Now they're actually a 3rd and about 3.5. So Magnolia really not wanting to turn the ball over. Really kind of conservative here in the last few plays offensively. But once again, a big 3rd down play, for our defense.
All right, formation for Magnolia. Little short pass over the middle. He picked up the first down.
Ishii over there with a little bit of slip. And Kemp threw the ball to I believe number 7 over there is Dusty Shepard, and able to pick up Magnolia's first down of the evening. So sometimes you really can't expect to hold the opponent to no first down. So really no big deal there. We just regroup here on first down and keep them to a short yardage here.
It's hard to hold a Magnolia team like this to no first downs. Carroll on the carry. Picks up about maybe 3 yards.
Number 32, Hawkinson, the ball carrier.
Well, I'm sorry, Talkington.
Number 44, Gabe Jordan. Gain of 2, second and 8. Ball's on the 35.
So we'll set the play here, second down about 8, and then we'll have to run one more play before the end of the first quarter. Magnolia go Twins to their right.
Split left. Picks up another first down.
First down to the Blue Eagles. Ball's on their own 46.
For your convenience and peace of mind, AmeriDrive by Stark offers teen driver education in these locations: Woodsfield, St. Clairsville, Wintersville, Martins Ferry, New Philadelphia, Marietta, Harrison Central, and Buckeye Local. 3 weeks of classroom study is held on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday evenings. State licensed and certified by the Ohio Department of Public Safety, AmeriDrive has been teaching teens and adults to drive for 20 years. 8 hours of one-on-one behind-the-wheel instruction is scheduled at convenient times. Call AmeriDrive by Stark at 1-800-YOU-DRIVE-2. For over 100 years, Bauer Turner Furniture has been serving our community with quality furniture and bedding. After a big day, kick back and relax in a dual recliner sofa, or choose from living room suites featuring couches with comfy armchairs or matching recliners. Then pick the perfect coffee table and tables and lamp to suit your personality. Of course, they stock bedroom furniture to please the country, traditional, or contemporary decorator. Kitchen tables and chairs, hutches, entertainment centers, and more can be delivered to your home this week. So stop by Bauer Turner Furniture today.
We're getting ready to start the second quarter. Still nothing. Dodge a little fade pass. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty good defensive play there by Ishii. Kept up with him the whole way.
Right, Talkington just split to Magnolia's left there in just a streak pattern. Ishii with him step for step. And Kemp, really just threw that one up and let the fastest man get it, but good coverage there by the Seminole defense. That'll be second down. As just as we talked about their conservative play calling, they've come out and thrown the ball 3 consecutive times. And now we're back to the Twins to both sides, and they'll try to slip something up the middle. And actually, Talkington maybe tripped up over his own feet to help us out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then able to fall forward for just a few yards. But Magnolia, field position really got out of the hole there with those 2 first downs. And you can really expect anything here. When you spread the defense out with the Twins and the Trips, sometimes a lot of man-on-man stuff.
Basically what we call the old run and shoot here, Andy.
Right, and the grass is pretty short out there. You can tell by the way it's all the dirt. Yeah.
Nice defense. I'll tell you what, it looked like Aaron Brown read that the whole way. Even though he didn't make the tackle, he still slowed him down a little bit.
Right, I'm not sure that's what Coach Batten wanted out of the quarterback here. He looked at him all the way, shot it out there, and every white jersey knew it was going out there, unless he was going to try to regroup and pass it later. But we'll look for that later on if they try to look like a lateral, Matt. So he does have the opportunity to throw that ball.
Yes.
So later on in the game, we might be able to keep our eyes open for that. But after 2 first downs by the Blue Eagle offense, they'll have to punt.
Ishii and Brown back deep to receive. Ishii lets it roll out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So Monroe Central takes over on their own 25-yard line. 10:30 left to go in the second quarter. Still nothing.
So although they got the ball back, they really lost a lot in field position, Matt. As we both know, golden opportunities there, starting inside their territory 3 consecutive times. Still 0-0 on the board. And now we're forced to start in our own end, about 24-yard line. We'll go double tight, just a bone backfield. Looks like a belly 6. Nice hit in there by number 30.
Number 30, Aaron Brown, the ball carrier.
I'm sorry, talking to number 32 and number 6, Josh Sims.
Still picked up about 4 yards on that.
So Seminoles just hard-nosed football right there.
Ball's on about
3-4 is obviously a first down.
2nd and 7.
Wing right from Monroe Central.
Looks like our power, well, maybe not.
No motion.
We go power right to our left, just a toss. Nothing going. Not sure who got through there. Looked like a lineman in between the guard and center. Gav shot in the quick toss, and that line was actually there as soon as Gabe got the toss, and never able to get that train moving to the outside.
I'll tell you what, a good effort by Magnolia's linebackers that time, coming up and making that play too. Again, nothing on the play. Wishbone formation from Monroe Central. She drops back to pass. He scrambles.
Yeah.
Gets it out to Gordon. He picks up a first down from Monroe Central.
Kind of a dangerous pass when he first let go of it, Matt, but gave a big target, went and got the ball. He realized he couldn't stand there and wait for it, and you know the big horse went and got a first down. So outstanding play by Ishii, just to kind of buy time by rolling to his right. Showed his speed right there. I'm sure Magnolia thought they had him in their grasp, and him able to slip out and make a key toss to Gordon for the first down.
I'll tell you what, Josh did a heck of a job too, knowing he was going to get hit after he released the ball, and was still stayed in there and took it. Nothing up the middle from Monroe Central.
Seems like Magnolia's just going to play their game defensively, and sometimes it'll cost them a 10-yard gain. But they know, all in all, that they got to shut down, the powerful Seminole rushing attack. So far, Matt, they've done a pretty nice job of shutting down the run.
Yeah, well, I tell you, they like I said before, they got they're not a small team, and they got some real good linebackers, and it is hard to run against a team when you're big up front. You got good speed at the linebacker position. She scrambles. He gets it on the end. He needs the block. Nice run by Josh Ishii.
Absolutely no room to run in there. Ishii able to duck and dive, weave his way up the middle, broke to the outside, somewhere around a 40-yard gain.
And I'll tell you what, Andy, what I really liked on that was after his receiver saw that he was going to run with the ball, they started peeling back and looking for people to block.
Right now, Magnolia had to contain, had all, looked like they had a 5-man defensive rush there, and Ishii just able to find that little bit of a seam and break through that line of scrimmage for a huge gain.
I don't know how he did it. Ishii back in the shotgun now. Keeps it. Gets back to the line of scrimmage.
So some sort of a quick trap with a quarterback keep, as maybe wasn't a quick trap, but Merrick out there and hit the initial man, and Ishii had to turn inside and wasn't able to pick much yardage up.
Monroe Central in the rip formation. Ishii back pass. Across the middle. He punts Robinson to get him a touchdown.
That ball thrown a little bit behind Robinson, and as the season progresses, Kenny just seems to get better.
I'll tell you what, he has made some really good catches this year. Of course, along with the other receivers, but Kenny has really come a long way in the past couple of years, and knows when to come back to the ball, knows when to slow down, when to speed up, and that was a heck of a catch by Kenny Robinson.
They're done in a passing formation with the big run by Ishii, and then the big pass play Ishii going to Kenny Robinson from about 30 yards out.
Like you said, Andy, that pass was a little bit underthrown, but Kenny made the proper adjustments for it. And of course, I think you look at it again. I'm sure everybody will see it tomorrow morning on TV. That receiver had his back to the ball.
Right. It looked for a minute there like Magnolia had a chance to deflect that ball away. Maybe he did get a finger on it or so, but Kenny able to gather it in and back his way across the goal line. Another costly non-conversion on the extra point try, and good teams got to find a way to get them extra points converted, because you never know when they come back to haunt you. In a close ball game like this, I'm sure that's very important to Coach Acosta and his special teams.
Talkington and Carroll back for the
Merrick will be doing the kicking off from Monroe Central, and he's been pretty good here the last couple weeks, Andy, as far as getting the ball deep. And just another nice kick.
That's perfect, Matt. Like you said, he's been doing a pretty good job. He got that in the end zone there, and know what to start from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, but like we said, you can look at the pluses and the disadvantages of the touchdown, but it doesn't matter. Monroe Central did score 6 points.
Right, and thus far tonight, able to hold the Blue Eagle offense to just 2 first downs. Magnolia come out, twins to their right. High backfield, they'll hand the second man through. Hit hard in there.
Looked like Sam Miller on that hit.
Right, number 88, Big Sam Miller with the big defensive stick.
made by number 25, Ryan Ferguson, and number 34, Stephen Davis.
We're calling the announcers calling Ryan Ferguson. I'm sure Ryan was probably in on the tackle, but Sam Miller made the initial hit.
Magnolia split right, split left, shotgun formation, split backfield. And pressure, get there by 80.
Whoa, almost intercepted. Nice pressure in there by Sean 80.
80 out there at school with me. I worked on him a little bit in the office about some pass rushing skills, and did a fine job in there. And actually, in the grass, but Kemp, nice sized kid, 6'3", 190, able to maintain and throw the ball. Lucky he wasn't intercepted.
Looks like Monroe Central staying in that 40 defense. Looks like
Watch the screen over there. Oh yeah!
that looked like Brown. Aaron Brown come up to make that stop.
We can see up here, Matt, them 3 linemen pulled over to their right. You can see the screen setting up. We had a few white jerseys over there, and Talkington able to escape the first few defenders, but Brownie able to stick his nose up in there like he has been doing all year and able to stop the screen short of a first down. I'll bring up 4th and about 5. Another punt formation for the Blue Eagles. Another nice punt. Got to catch that ball, Ishii.
He lets it roll. Let's roll down to about the 38-yard line. I'm sorry, 33.
So, outstanding punt for a high school player.
That was a nice punt.
Probably close to around 45 yards net on that. So that's a big deal when you can make that kind of field position change.
Punt like that there, Andy, sometimes you might just want to call for a fair catch in case it takes a real good roll.
Right. I mean, I can't catch a punt, so it's hard for me to criticize. But sometimes you like your man to play back and get everything in front of you. We'll do a little counteraction in the backfield. A lot of room over there initially. Still a nice chunk of yardage on first down.
Brown gets about 7 yards out of that.
Carries the ball out to about the 41.
Monroe Central offense, especially their line, looks still pretty fresh in there. A lot of guys have to play both ways. It is a perfect night for football, and it's a big key. Got our buddy Ed here filming with us tonight. Gordon in there, going to his right. Not much going on.
That's just the old power right, Andy. It's
Gordon, the ball carrier, stopped.
yeah, it's one of them kind of plays that if it works, you'll get good yardage out of it. If it doesn't, you won't get anything. I mean, it's
Right, but we, you know, when it works tonight, we'll come back to it because it's just power football. Got things we can do off that, so even if it doesn't work, you know, maybe set something up for later.
Ferguson checking in for Sean Jors.
The third and a key 2 yards to get the first down, as we'd like to have his first down here. And he'll quick toss it real quick out there. And
Picks up the first down.
got a face mask, I believe. That'll tax some yardage onto that, but hard to defend. I mean, just no guard or no tackle pulling, just a quick toss to our left of the Brown Dog, and our tight end able to get a little bit on their defensive end.
Basically, on a play like that, Andy, you pitch that ball out to that back, he's on his own. Because you have nobody out there blocking for him except maybe the end.
Right, and you're asking your end to do a lot out there to try to get out there and hook that defender. And I believe it was one of the Millers was able to just do enough and actually got the first down without the face mask. And they only gave him a 5-yard unintentional face mask penalty. So
Liz formation from Air Central. Ishii bobbles the ball. He hands it off to Gordon. He picks up a nice chunk of yardage.
So the big train finally broke one up the middle there. About a 17-yard gain by Gordon.
I'll tell you what, Andy, he's lucky that Josh is lucky he got that ball to Gabe because he did bobble the snap.
Right, didn't look pretty from the beginning there, but big hole there by the offensive lineman, and Gabe coming in tonight with around 530 yards, one of the tops in the valley, and he'll keep adding to that.
Wing right. Ishii back to pass. Goes over the middle to look like Dan Miller.
I heard one of the fans or somebody up here yelled they didn't want him to throw back against the grain like that. It's kind of dangerous sometimes, but able to stick that back across the middle.
Well, he still picked up about 4 yards.
Right. You know, Ishii on the run didn't feel like the first receiver was open, so went back to the middle and picked up about 4 yards there. Double tight, bone backfield. And we'll go to belly 7 where the quarterback will keep. And just pick up about 2 yards.
Ishii, the ball carrier. Initial stop by number 7, Dusty Shepard.
I'm kind of interested about this next call here, Andy. It's we tried a pass and like you said, belly 7.
I wouldn't be surprised one of these times if we get Big Gabe at tailback and just quick toss it to him here. See what he's got. But, you know, a lot of things you can do on 3rd and 5.
Ishii rolls out. Goes to a receiver. Gets rid of it.
They're going to have to call offensive interference on that, Matt. You can see Ishii gave him a little wave like go ahead and turn around and run towards the end zone. I'll loft it up. But just no room there for Robinson.
I'll tell you, to be honest with you, that was probably a pretty good call because he looked like he did climb
right.
his back.
He turned into a defender, but he did climb his back. And, you know, sometimes Ishii not playing a lot of quarterback. If it's not there, it's not there. He doesn't have to go in the air. You know, if he needs to run out of bounds, just throw it away. That's what he needs to do. But what did they do? Pick up the flag? Or here we are.
Moving it back now.
Okay, that's a big 15-yard penalty.
Loss of down. It'll be 4th down.
So huge play, like we said. You've been better off just throwing that ball away. 3rd and 5 turns into 4th and 15.
Ball's now on the Blue Eagles 44.
You know, we talked about the powerful running game there. We are 3rd and 5, and really decided to put the ball in the air when maybe 2 shots on the ground gives us a first down. But, you know, that's fine. I mean, we're 5-0.
Fair catch by Talkington.
Catch by number 32, Hawkinson. It'll be first and 10 for the Blue Eagles. We have the winning
Like I said, Matt,
game ball.
they know what they're doing. We're playing good defense.
If you have the winning
And, you know, hopefully we'll hold them another 3 and out down here.
You got to remember, this is still the first half, Andy. You know, we've got a whole another half of football to play.
9-5,
So I'm sure when Monroe Central and their coaches go in the locker room, I'm sure they're going to, you know, pick up some things that they were doing wrong and some of the things that Magnolia's doing wrong and try to key on them.
And, you know, as we talk, and this game keeps moving, there's only 1 minute and 28 seconds left in the half, although both teams, I believe, have all their timeouts left. Magnolia will pick up what looks to be a first down, and then they'll call timeout.
I tell you, that was a pretty nice pass in the middle, and you know, all that traffic. And it's a pretty good catch. Of course, Monroe Central probably now, minute 14 seconds left to go in the game, they'll probably, or in the half, they'll probably be trying to play a little bit loose here.
Well, you know what, Matt? How many times do you see a little bit of loose turns into too loose?
Well,
and, you know, you talk about only giving up a few first downs. You wonder if we just don't play or just hard-nosed, you know, defense just like we've been playing all half.
Try to bring the linebackers maybe a little bit more and, you know, maybe try to rush the quarterback a little bit.
So Magnolia used their first time out with 1:14 to play here in the first half. Able to get a little bit of a passing game going here in the second quarter, but I'm not sure what kind of kicker they got. A lot of times over here they do have a nice kicker, but still a lot of yardage to get before they think about getting into any type of area for a field goal attempt here right before half.
Of course, you know, Monroe Central being without starter Robbie Dimmerling in there on the offensive line and also defensive end. So not saying that Monroe Central's hurting. You know, we've got Stephen Habig in there. This is the second week now that Robbie's been out.
Right. Demmerling and all the OVHD wrestler, an outstanding football player, and right now still able to keep the shutout going. And Gordon will get plenty of pressure on the, oh, nice play. Tell you what, nice play in there by Kemp.
Yes, it was. He got rid of the ball. And as a matter of fact, he lost about a yard, maybe 2.
So yeah, you know, you still that's still positive, even though he gained the or got the pass off and completed it. So
nice pressure by Monroe Central. I'm not sure who that was up there. It looked like maybe Sean 80.
Gabe Gordon also in there. As he
Gordon.
comes, just as we talked about a prevent, some sort of something like that, they send Gordon, and they'll be content. Well, they'll pick up a first down, I guess.
I'll tell you, you know, when you get in a situation like this, Andy, you know, when you only got 30 seconds left to go in the half, you don't know if they're going to try to run the clock out or if they're going to try to go for a deep and try to get a quick score.
Right, you got to believe if he was stopped for no gain at the line of scrimmage, they were content to let the clock run out, but he picked up about 12 yards there, and you know, a couple tosses, maybe a penalty they're hoping, and you know, give them a couple shots down close to the end zone. And you know, a couple weeks ago we looked at Tennessee and Florida, Hail Mary before the half, and I believe Tennessee able to come down with one.
I wouldn't look for maybe a Hail Mary pass here in maybe the next couple of plays. But we haven't seen Magnolia go deep all night, have we?
A few times on the streaks, but Ishii right there step for step with the Blue Eagle defender. But you're right, Matt. They're probably looking to throw the ball down the middle. They still got one timeout left, and try to pick up something, and then maybe take a shot if they have some success. They'll go twins right, split left. Kemp behind center. Oh, I'll tell you what there, Talkington showed a little bit of his toughness right there.
Yeah, he did.
Fired up, got the team fired up. Big shot right here in front of the bench, and pretty solid there as he stayed right there in bounds.
He shook off that first initial hit and almost stayed in bounds and got,
right here in front of us, it looked a little scary. But Little help there by the defense. You got 19 seconds to go. One timeout left. He'll go twins right. He'll go split left. Look for the same play. Gordy here. Oh, nice play over there.
Nice defensive play by, looked like Kenny Robinson.
Right, we talked about Kenny, how he'd adjust to, a lot of defensive end. It seemed like he worked a lot of defensive end last year. Now he's actually playing the safety right now. Fine play back there.
He did a good job. He had one hand out front trying to bat the ball down and kept the other hand behind the receiver in case he did catch it, he could still tackle him.
Right, so 13 seconds to go. Here goes shotgun, twins to the right, split backfield. Try to bring a lot of pressure up the middle. And Kemp took another shot in there as pressure was on.
Say Kemp's a tough ball player, but he has taken some pretty good shots here in the first half.
Right.
And of course, you know as well as I do, come in the third or fourth quarter, that does wear on you a little bit.
Right. He's as we look out here now. It looks like of course, he's going to be all right, but a little bit sore, I'm sure. Nothing going there. Plenty of defenders back deep for the Seminoles. As Kemp just trying to throw it up, maybe hoping for an interference call or something. Really didn't give his receiver a chance to make a play.
It still leaves time for one more play for Magnolia, being 4th down and 10. So I look for them to go deep here. I'll tell you one thing about Kemp, he does roll out pretty good, so you might want to look for him rolling out on this play.
Actually got 4 receivers to their right side, and I'm sure that's where they're going. He'll throw it up. And yeah, actually kind of close over there, but we're able to keep him out of the end zone. And we'll go into half for a big 6-0 lead, Matt.
FW Shoemaker Insurance Agency celebrating 100 years of service to our community. FW Shoemaker is an independent agency representing many reputable companies for all of your insurance needs. Only the most professional agencies represent Westfield Insurance. The best of the best are recognized as Westfield Platinum agencies, and FW Shoemaker is proud to be a Platinum agency. FW Shoemaker Insurance and the Monroe Central Seminoles, 2 winning traditions. The Citizens National Bank of Woodsfield, home-owned and independently operated since 1933. Your community bank. Our officers, directors, and staff are dedicated to customer and community service. We reinvest your deposit dollars locally. So remember, banking with us is not only good for you, but it's good for your community. Citizens National Bank of Woodsfield. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. No matter what the weather is, you can work out year-round at Transforming Physiques. For your convenience, new owner Kristen Rossiter has extended the hours. Students have the opportunity to work out before school, after school, or on Saturdays. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, come out at 6 a.m. and get your exercise in before going to work. Adult, student, and family memberships are available. They now have 2 tanning beds and stock the best of tanning supplies. Stop out to see a large variety of sports drinks, diet bars, supplements, vitamins, and sports attire. Now is the time to start transforming your physique. McDonald's of Woodsfield is not just great food and lots of fun, it's a vital part of our community. Perla and Dell strongly believe in supporting our kids, both in school and in extracurricular activities. That's why McDonald's is proud to be the exclusive halftime sponsor for the Monroe Central Seminoles. They're happy to support our players, our cheerleaders, and our band. After the game, celebrate at McDonald's of Woodsfield, where we love to make you smile. McDonald's of Woodsfield is not just great food and lots of fun, it's a vital part of our community. Perla and Dell strongly believe in supporting our kids, both in school and in extracurricular activities. That's why McDonald's is proud to be the exclusive halftime sponsor for the Monroe Central Seminoles. They're happy to support our players, our cheerleaders, and our band. After the game, celebrate at McDonald's of Woodsfield, where we love to make you smile.
Hi, I'm Bill Respect. You heard me talk many times about how we offer you the best variety at the best possible price every day. And we do it with no cards, no gimmicks, no hassle. Just like you, we're working to get the most we can for the money we spend. So if these things are important to you, come home to Respects. We'll even add customer service as we continue what Grandma started over 70 years ago.
From a deck to a complete house, Woodsfield True Value has the lumber and building materials for contractors or do-it-yourselfers. Before you go out of town, bring your plans into Troy and Mike for a free estimate. We think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Delivery is available for your project materials too. From lumber and siding to shingles, windows, insulation, and cabinets, Woodsfield True Value is your source for building materials and building packages. So give Troy or Mike a call today at Woodsfield True Value. Since 1887, folks have trusted Woodsfield Savings Bank with their financial needs. So when you need someone to lead you with your financial decisions, come to the friendly folks at Woodsfield Savings Bank where customers count. Because of your busy schedule, we offer a drive-through and night deposit box, as well as convenient parking, direct deposit, and automatic payments. The folks at Woodsfield Savings Bank truly believe that making an investment in our kids brings the biggest return to our community.
Go Noles!
All right, welcome back to the second half of Monroe Central versus Magnolia from Alumni Field in New Martinsville, West Virginia. So far right now it's Monroe Central 6, Magnolia nothing, and but that really doesn't say much for the ball game. It's been a heck of a defensive effort by both teams. We're being flanked here by Coach Caesar. He's come behind us trying to tell us how to announce the game, but of course we're not going to listen to him. But
well, I don't know, Matt. I think Coach Caesar knows way more about football and about anybody that I know.
He's probably forgotten more than we'll ever know, Andy. But like I said, good first half defensively by both teams. Magnolia only keeping Monroe Central to 6 points, and it looked like the first quarter looked like most of the game was going to be played at one end of the field. Well, then Magnolia kind of, broke it open a little bit. Some hard hitting in there. And like I said, basically just a defensive effort, good defensive effort by both teams.
Right, about what we expected, Matt. We said key game for us as well as Magnolia, and 6-0 lead. Still, obviously could go either way. Magnolia will receive to start the second half, and I'm sure that they've seen some things that will work. They'll make a few adjustments. They'll try to spread us out. They'll try to pick up some first downs one at a time, of course, and hopefully break one. And really not good field position in the first half.
No, not for Magnolia. Like you said, Andy, Magnolia, I'm sure they went in at halftime and saw some maybe some dim spots on our defense, and they're going to capitalize on. But on the other hand, I'm sure Monroe Central probably saw some dim spots on Magnolia's side. So it's kind of a battle of the coaches here.
Right. We'll start the second half off with Merrick putting the ball up and a nice boot
down about the 2-yard line.
Oh, number 49 Dudak.
I'll tell you what. That was nice job in there by Dudak going in there and sticking his nose down and basically just barreling in there, which is as far as the kickoff team, that's basically probably his job to go in there and break up the wedge. So Magnolia comes out on first down and 10. from about the 29-yard line.
They'll sprint right and left. Ooh. Nice job out there by number 7, Dusty Shepard, able to hold on to that ball. Fired out there by 10, John Kemp. And, you know, sometimes we might look for that pump fake where Shepard fakes and then streaks. So we got to be careful not to bite too hard on that. Nice pickup on first down by the Blue Eagles. 2nd down and 8. We'll go with the 5-man front, like a 5-3.
Nice job in there by the Monroe Central defensive line.
Nothing fancy, just like a 14 play, what we might call it.
Exactly. I'm trying to look at the numbers, pick up in there. Looked like Miller, Dan Miller, and I think I was English in there, wasn't it? Well, I'm sorry, Eddie McConnell.
Okay. So 3rd and 2. They spread us out a little bit, and they'll go Twins to the right. High backfield. Tight splits in there by the Eagle offense. And he'll roll. And there'll be nothing there.
Ferguson. Was that?
Fergie and I believe.
No, I'm sorry. That might have been. It was either Fergie or Dan Miller. It's kind of hard to make out those numbers, but. I think that was Dan Miller, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Dan Miller coming from that outside linebacker position. Somewhere in there.
Nice.
Absolutely no run. A lot of times,
defense.
Matt, on 3rd and short, you know, you wonder why you take your offense backwards to try to gain a few yards frontwards and really cost Magnolia there.
Yeah.
Outstanding defensive effort. Good snap. Not quite as good as a punt this time, but he'll get a good roll.
It's kind of hard to come in there in a crowd like that and make a fair catch.
And a lot of times at this high school level, tight game like this, sometimes you sacrifice some yardage for possibly a botched attempt. And with a lot of traffic in there, you're just better off to stay away from it sometimes.
Yeah. So Monroe Central comes getting ready to break the huddle for their first offensive series of the second half.
Get a double tight, wing to our left.
Motion. Pitch to Gordon. And he's going nowhere.
So the motion in the lead blockers really all for naught because that inside linebacker's darting up through the middle, using his quickness and bringing Gordon down for a 2-yard gain.
No, it's hard
or a 2-yard loss, I'm sorry.
It's hard for those backs out of the backfield to pick up on a play like that, to pick up a blitzing linebacker. You know, usually that's taken care of by the guard or tackle on that side.
Right. Sometimes you just call the right defense against the right offensive play, and that time that looks like that's exactly what happened. So nice defensive play by the Eagle defense.
Give it to Gordon up the middle. Looks like a little quick trap.
Right.
There.
And that's the thing, you come back with something else, and against a aggressive defense like that, you'll over-penetrate, and then you'll find something just right up the middle. And you'll find out all year long that Gordon and most of our backs don't need a lot of room. Just hard-nosed football, and he actually picked up close to 9 yards there.
I think that was just basically the defense anticipating maybe they was going to run to the outside and left the middle open. Yeah, she rolls out, keeps the ball.
And that fumble will actually get a first down for us.
Well, it depends on who recovered it.
Yeah.
First down, Monroe Central.
It's a little bit of luck there, man, as we looked as though we were stopped short of the first down. He fumbled ahead.
Looks like it might have been, I'm not sure, but it might have been Curtis Merrick in there to recover.
Right, nice hustle over there by Merrick. Really didn't fool anybody, Matt. And she's keep there. Magnolia, I've noticed, getting a lot of different looks there. See some 6, 5-man, 7-man, and a 4-4 defense. Changing it up all night.
Shotgun formation, split backfield. Pitch out to Brown, he catches it. Another fumble by Monroe Central, but recovered.
I'll tell you what, Brown with an outstanding effort just to hang on to the ball, then turned upside down, got the ball ripped loose. Some nice hard-hitting football going on out there right now, Matt. And a dangerous pass by Ishii just did get it over the defender of the Blue Eagles.
Again, Magnolia defense hanging in there pretty tough, Andy.
Yeah, a little luck, Matt. You know, two times we put the ball on the ground and both times able to come up with it.
So I could give to Gordon up the middle. Looks like there's no gain on that.
The Magnolia stepped it up here on defense, bring up a long third down play. I'm sure we'll see Ishii with some kind of roll, or you know, we haven't seen a screen play tonight, so keep that in mind.
Liz formation from Monroe Central. Ishii sacked for about maybe a 5-yard loss.
So Ishii able to escape the initial defender, but you know, not knowing the defender from behind was running full speed, it's just a good thing he held on to the ball there.
Well, it's like you say, you don't have eyes in the back of your head, so, you know, until basically you feel like God breathing on your neck, you don't even know that he's there.
That's right, got to do a little better job. Magnolia seemed to pick up the pass rush. And Spielman able to get off a nice punt. Nice little shake move there by, and they'll get a late hit in there by number.
I'm not sure what number that was, but
Yeah, I'm afraid that was probably a good call, Matt. Coming there a little bit late.
coming in late and coming in with his head down.
All right. Fairly good job tonight as far as the yellow on the field. Offensive pass interference that we had, and maybe a procedure call early on, but that very costly mistake. That's a free 15 yards. That gives them some room back there. Magnolia seems to have a little momentum after a good defensive series there. So Seminoles have to, you know, step it up a notch here on first down and shoot for the 3 and out.
Monroe Central in the 5-3 defense, give up the middle. Looks like that was number 33, Carroll, on the carry. Pick up about maybe 4 yards.
Really, that's a nice pickup by the fullback there on first down.
Yeah, when you get 4, 5, 6 yards, a pop, that when it comes third down, that makes it, an awful short third down. Makes it a lot easier on the offense.
Pretty nice job over here on the left side of the defensive line. Miller in there, Eddie McConnell. Or I'm sorry, Merrick over there. So no gain on the play. Brings up about third down and 5. Might look for that flare out to their right, Matt.
Flare, quarterback might be rolling out to his right. Look up for it, Now he's dropping straight back. Passing across the middle. Incomplete. I'll tell you what, Andy, another nice job in there by Kenny Robinson as far as defensive secondary.
A lot of times you come back like that. We thought maybe they'd be going to their right, and you come back to the left. And Kenny out here, sometimes they say on an island, out here all by himself with little or no help, and able to make the play. So exactly, after a costly personal foul penalty, exactly what the Seminoles wanted was a 3 and out. Brings up a 4th down and punting formation, and try to keep this ball in front of us, Matt. This boy's able to been able to get some nice punts in the air and some height, and another pretty good punt here, and pretty good coverage here by the Blue Eagle.
Not too bad. And just one thing that you got to be happy with that Josh did hold on to the ball.
Right. You can see up here, if he'd, tried to get to the outside and use that speed, there was a wall setting up, but, Blue Eagles quickly getting down. That's what happens when you get a little height on your punt. Very important, let your team get down the field, and that's what happened there. Nice punt there, and nice coverage by the Blue Eagle defense. So we'll start out about the 37-yard line, or 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Wing left, I formation. It's about an 8-man line, and that's what happens against an 8-man line. Magnolia evidently seeing something there where they can cheat up like that, and just shut the running game down right there.
Tell you, when you have an 8-man line like that from Magnolia, boy, it does leave your defensive secondary basically open.
Right. That's part of the chess match that goes on. Maybe they go from an 8-man to they'll drop back and some sort of 5-3 defense here. No bring a backer, and he's trying to get the ball out there, and that's the type of ball match that you like to see. Maybe yes, you put a little air under it.
Exactly.
But trying to throw that strike down the field, and for initially maybe we thought maybe he had a little gap there to get the ball through there, but only thing wrong with something like that on 2nd down is if you make it great, but if you don't, it brings up a long 3rd down conversion.
Yeah. But Kenny had his man beat on that play though too.
Right.
He had him by about maybe 2 steps.
Some sort of, I wasn't watching the whole time I was looking at the interior defense, but it looked like some sort of stop and go where Ishii pump fake for a second. But
probably like a what you call slide 3 and go, where you basically run an out pattern. He pumps it to you, then you take off down the sidelines.
Ishii doing a nice job getting on the over-snapped shotgun. The only time the shotgun gets mentioned, the snap, is when it is bad. But, pretty good job in there all night by Chris Jeffers. That one just seemed to get away from Jeffers, and it snapped it over his head.
Of course, the dew's getting on the ground now, though, too, Andy.
Right.
Does make that ball pretty slick.
Right. I'm sure Coach is glad we was able to get on that one and hope for a big punt here by Spielman. Oh,
He lets it roll. He picks it up. Oh. Nice hit by Curtis Merritt.
Toggington able to come upfield there, put a move on the first couple guys, but Merrick able to get downfield, make a strong hit on Toggington. Magnolia fans were right above them. They're saying it's time to get something going here. And fans really getting into it, see if they can pump up our defense as well. So the best field position for a long time for the Magnolia offense.
Like I say, I've been looking out there looking at the defensive players here, and they doesn't look like they're getting too winded yet. I'm not saying they're fresh, but they still got a lot of power left in them.
Tell you what there, Matt, talk about seeing things from up here. Not sure who it was. The Blue Eagle receiver turned back into about 3 white jerseys when it looked like he had some room to the outside. Toggington's who it was. He'll only pick up about 2.5 yards, but
it's a lot of effort just for 2.5 yards.
Right, and they did pick up Gordon that time. Offensive line did a nice job of keeping the Seminoles out, but secondary able there to make the play. They'll bring some more pressure, and the ball overthrown by Kemp, and downfield his intended receiver was number 7, Dusty Shepard. Ishii right there on the coverage.
I'll tell you what, that's one of those plays, the way Josh had him, covered, he could have, I wouldn't say, should have been called, but he, could have very easily been called for pass interference coming over his back like that.
Right. Yeah, we held our breath there for a second. We didn't see any yellow laundry on the field, so we'll go 3rd and 8. We're about the 42-yard line. They'll come with 4 men. They'll send a linebacker, and
play.
they're going to call, I believe it'll have to be some sort of
Stop the play
encroachment to
has to
stop
be-
the play, right?
Yeah.
It'll be against the blue.
Procedure against the Blue Eagles.
Usually, if it is on the defense after the ball snap, they usually let the play run out. You know, so
Right. So a lot of times they both play dead, like you said there. It's usually not good news for the offense, which helps us. Turns a 3rd and 8 into about a 3rd and 13. We've been playing a lot of 4-man or like a 44 defense in there, and then we're going to send a linebacker a lot of times. Magnolia able to pick the last few up, but they'll spread us out. Quinn's left. Probably try to keep a running back in there to help, and we'll send a corner, or that's the end, and he just threw that ball out of bounds.
thrown out of bounds.
Pass is incomplete.
Kemp in there, took another shot.
Not bad coverage in there by the Monroe Central secondary. I'm pretty sure that was Kenny Robinson out there again, Andy. We've mentioned his name a lot on defense here tonight.
Right, you really can't say enough about the Seminole secondary. We knew we'd be tested tonight, you know, against a pretty strong-armed, big, physical quarterback, and he's thrown some good balls and he's completed some, but for the most part, so far, we've been able to maintain with a strong pass rush.
I tell you, that's a bad snap low. Here she takes it.
Yeah, now!
He breaks it to the outside.
Good job there by Miller.
Tell you what,
Knew he couldn't hit him. That's all right.
that was a heck of a job. If you can't make a legal block, there's no use throwing a block at all. And you could tell Dan just really wanted to basically peel that guy. But
I think you and I watched him the whole way. Once,
yes, we did.
you know, we kind of figured he was faster than those first two guys.
Yeah.
So we looked here at the 50-yard line. There was Miller, but
I tell you, like
know.
I said, that was a heck of a job by Ishii getting outside, and had some decent blocks out here.
And a good job by the return team.
Sure.
To stay outside, stay in your lane, and that man's job was to stay outside. Perfect view from up here. We'll go quick toss left with Brown Dogger, and I believe that's number 33, Carroll. He's got some nice team defensive
I'll
speed
tell you
there.
what, that Carroll boy, I know he's, everybody thinks fullbacks are big and slow, but looks like he has some pretty good speed right there to catch the brown dog.
As I say, a lot of times in our past games here the last couple of weeks, Brown gets away from guys like that, and he's still running. But give credit to the team speed of the Blue Eagles, and that quick toss is exactly what it says. Is quick, and bring it up second, about 7.
Monroe Central rip formation. Give it to Gordon. He fumbles the ball. Magnolia recovers.
Gordon, absolutely no room to run. Hit as soon as he got the ball, and then took another shot and put the ball on the ground. And we talked earlier, Matt, how we put the ball down on the ground a few times, was able to recover. This time, not so fortunate. And, the defense put to the test again.
I think that's our, third fumble here in the second half?
Right. So now both sides, as we wind down here on the fourth or the third quarter, and that'll have to be somebody lined up in the neutral zone.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it'll go against Magnolia. I thought from up here, Matt, as soon as he blew that whistle there, I seen, and that's uncalled for. This is varsity football. It's 6th game of the year, 5th for Magnolia. It's a good tight ball game. You're not concentrating.
Yeah, exactly. That's that's one thing we talked about down at the Caldwell game. All the penalties that Monroe Central had, and I know that's any penalty a coach frowns on, but Coach Costa really frowns on the penalties. And last week we did a lot better.
So empty backfield set, and I tell you what, Matt, the defensive end could move. And Habig was right; he can move. Okay.
Yeah, the defensive end can move as long as he doesn't cross into that neutral zone. If he jumps off, he can always jump back, before the ball snaps.
Right, and Habig saw that flinch, and he made a move on movement, and referees also caught it. So after, the crowd gets pumped, Magnolia starts this drive with two, very costly, really foolish penalties to bring up 1st and 20. I'll tell you what, Matt, the safety's got to come over and make a play on that. Issy's been there all night, and
I'll tell you what, it looked like, in my opinion, it looked like Sean saw Ishii there, and he didn't want to come in to basically maybe break up a possible interception.
Looked a little awkward, you're right. But for him to come down with the ball on a 1st and 20.
Good catch, though. Good pass.
A lot of room out there. A little bit of, loss contained as he rolled to his right and able to find a receiver out there. So Magnolia puts together two big, passing plays. And, we'll wind down the 3rd quarter. And that'll be all of the 3rd quarter with Monroe Central 6, Magnolia nothing, but driving deep into Seminole territory.
New name, same great service. Ormet Credit Union is now Ohio Valley Community Credit Union. Visit us in our new facility in Hannibal, built with more convenient parking and easier drive-through. If you live, work, or attend school in Belmont or Monroe counties, you are eligible for membership in the Ohio Valley Community Credit Union. To serve you better, we also have locations in St. Clairsville and Clarington. Ohio Valley Community Credit Union. Community is our middle name.
I'm not buying till I checked on Ford.
When it comes to the regular maintenance of your Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury, come to the service department at Doane Ford. From oil changes and brake work to alignments and major repairs, the service department at Doane's has state-of-the-art equipment and factory-trained technicians to keep you on the road. And for all types of body work, remember, Doane Ford's Collision Center is a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies.
I'm not buying till I checked on Ford.
All right, here we are, 3rd quarter. Still Monroe Central 6, Magnolia 7, but nothing. But Magnolia is driving the ball on Monroe Central. They just picked up a 1st down. So that makes it 1st and 10 for Magnolia on the Monroe Central 22-yard line. Monroe Central kind of, in a way, get their backs to the wall here, Andy.
Right. You talked about early opportunities there in the game. And, with only a 6-0 lead, still anybody's game. And nice hit in there by Sean 80 as Kemp not able to get anything on that ball. And lucky it wasn't intercepted and Kemp slowed getting up.
I'll tell you, Sean 80 and so I'm trying to think, there's another number in there, Andy. Eddie McConnell had him around the legs, and Sean came in and finished him off, and that's another hard hit that Kemp has taken. Like I said, I think it's starting to take its toll on him a little bit.
Right. Definitely I'm sure Coach Sherman gets the guys fired up during that 3rd quarter break and come back with a strong 1st down or effort there against the offense. And right now, Kemp able to find that little pocket there and throw it into number 7, Dusty Miller. 3 Seminole defenders around him, but like you said, you find your spot, you settle into it, and just nice execution by Kemp and Dusty Shepard there.
Yeah, and something about Magnolia. I mean, they did beat a decent Barnesville team last week. I didn't get a chance to see it, but I did listen to it on the radio, and it seems like they're kind of playing the same offense that they did last week against Barnesville.
Right, they'll spread us out.
fullback Carroll on the keep.
You'll notice, Matt, that on that Twins and that split left, they went clear to the end of the field and tried to, at least get 3 defenders and try to spread us out a little bit, but only pick up about 2 there. And second goal from the 8. I can't get a first down, obviously, so sometimes that's good. Sometimes it gives the offense a little bit more room to work down in the red zone here. And they'll spread us out again. Actually, a little bit of trips to the right.
I look for him rolling out here.
He'll go a little.
Yeah, nice tip. Nice tip. That was
Nice
Dan
job,
Miller. Dan Miller on that tip. And I tell you, that's one thing that you, Andy, you know as well as I do, a defensive end, when you have a short drop back like that, you tell your defensive end to come in with their hands up. And that's exactly what Dan did. And he tipped it and knocked it down.
There's a lot of field out there, and all the receiver has to do is get the inside position on that streak. And obviously a huge play by Miller. 3rd and 8. We'll look for the same thing back to the left. Of course, that's Ishii. Look for the wing out here to slip in the middle.
Screen.
He's just going to throw that ball up. No!
Yeah. Nice job by the linebackers there, Andy. I'm not sure what number that was.
Right. I'll tell you
Might
what,
have been
Matt.
Sam Miller. I think it was Sam Miller. He came up and he read it the whole way and came up and hit the receiver. Of course, it's behind the line of scrimmage on the screen, so there's no pass interference on that.
Right. Now, they did us a little favor there, Matt. I'm not sure you call a screen because there's not a whole lot of field to defend down there. We're there anyways. So, still an outstanding play there by the defense.
But like you said, Andy, I don't think that was really a great call when you're 3rd and goal and, trying to screen up the middle, especially the way our linebackers been playing all night.
Right. Magnolia over the years, seems like all teams, especially good teams, got one play in their playbook, and they got to bring it out on plays like this, or situations like this, I should say. So you might look for a little bit of something like maybe a tight end, something they haven't went to all night. So, as a defender, you want to make sure, you get your hands on the tight ends, jam them, don't let them out. Same way with your wings. Maybe slip a back out of the backfield in the middle after they spread us out. It's hard to say.
I think that's what you might look for here, Andy. Maybe the quarterback rolling out and giving his receivers a little bit more time to get open.
Right. I guess the key would be is containment and a pass rush, just like we've been saying all night. So here we go. 4th and 10. 4th and goal from the 10. Monroe Central still leading this ball game 6-0.
Yeah! Almost intercepted.
Tell you what, Kenny's been there all night. He's there once again. Although that's just the same play they went to on 2nd down. They went right back to it.
I'll tell you, Andy, I can't say enough about Kenny's defensive effort here tonight. He's, like you said, he's been there. Every time they've thrown to his side, he's done one heck of a job.
So outstanding defensive stand down there as they start 1st and goal, and ended up turning the ball over on downs. So I'm sure Coach and the crew want to turn out some 1st downs just on the ground and keep the clock running. Still plenty of time to go tonight.
Ishii keeps the ball on a quarterback sneak. Looks like he picked up about maybe 2 or 3 yards.
I'll tell you what, Matt, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but we was down here about, 4 years ago, and Derek Griffith broke a quarterback sneak about 99 yards, and the place just went wild. And boy, wouldn't it be nice to see something like that?
Oh, that'd be great, especially right here.
So we'll go wing right, backfield, hand the ball to Brown Dogger.
He
He'll get through the outside. There you go. Oh, we got a flag in the backfield. Yeah!
Nice hit! I'll tell you what,
We got 2 men down here.
Dan
We got a
Miller,
flag down.
flag's in the backfield, so I would say probably say holding on Monroe Central. But I'll tell you what, Dan Miller just laid this kid out. Jeez, Weez, I thought he took his head off, Andy.
Tell you what, Matt. Yeah, we'll see. Hope everything's all right. You think about penalties and you think about a big play, but maybe the reason he got the big play because there was a hold to break the outside, but
Well, it looked like the hold was were clearing the backfield after he
right. It's either a late
ball.
flag or a late hold that didn't. I mean, I hope it's a late flag because there's nothing you can stand or you can't stand worse than a hold or a penalty behind the play. But we don't have the advantage of an instant replay, and really don't want to single one man out here, but very costly penalty by the Seminole offense.
Well, let's just hope this Magnolia Blue Eagle down on the sidelines, and let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, you tell you those kind of plays, Matt, really get you fired up, and then it just takes the air right out of you when you got to start back over.
Exactly. Yeah, it takes a lot of, that was a good effort, by Aaron Brown on that run. And then, when you finally get tackled and you look back and you see a flag on play, I mean, it's really depressing at times, especially when you run like that.
Haven't marked off yeah, they have. Looks like they'll go half the distance, Matt. And it'll be second and about. Oh, no, it wasn't half the distance because we picked up a few on first down, but that'll bring up a second and about 16 regardless. And we'll go there.
Monroe Central breaks the huddle. It's like wing right, I formation in the backfield. Gordon on the carry. I'll tell you what they did is they put Habig in there at fullback as a blocking back and put Gordon in there at tailback.
Right.
Just a kind of a different look.
Right, something we hadn't seen all night. Really a pretty nice game. Just had so much to pick up after that penalty. So Gordon on a gain of about 8 yards. But really put us in the hole there with that penalty.
Brings up 3rd and 7 from Monroe Central.
I mean, I know we'd most likely like to see the ball in the air, but probably won't, as we've been playing good, solid defense.
Give to Brown. He picks up a couple more, but short of a first down. Brings up about 4th down and about 4 for Monroe Central.
So Magnolia will get the ball back. 7:40 left on the clock here in the 4th quarter. Still 6-0 Seminole lead.
Spielman back deep to punt. Gets off a nice spiral. Talkington looks like he fumbled it at first, Andy, but breaks the tackle.
Yeah, big time coverage down by Seminole defense. Might have had the punt block on, Matt. Not able to get any defenders back or Blue Eagle people back to do any block, and a lot of white jerseys down there. They'll start still at some good field position there at about the 43-yard line.
That's a pretty good punt by Davis Spielman.
Yeah, he really come on. I believe Gordon was doing the punting early on. So special teams, very important. Magnolia will start this drive in the 43-yard line. Split right, split left, shotgun. They'll fake, pop and go. And try to slip draw back up the middle and
run out of bounds.
He'll have You know, close to 4 or 5 yards over there. Not a whole lot of room over there in front of, between the sidelines and the fence over there. They're going to call a sideline. What we got here? They're going to call official timeout for a second. Or I thought they was. But we'll get things going here. And second, about 7 yards to go.
We got trips right. He's holding in there. No!
Good defense, just a nice pass by Kemp.
Yeah.
I was looking for a little hold down the defensive end.
It looked like they were kind of holding Dan Miller there, but
they kept his hands in, and sometimes you keep your hands in. You do grab a little jersey. It's hard for official to see that, but
brings up about 3rd down and 1 from Magnolia. Got trips left, split right, quarterback sneak, and he picks up 1st down.
I was going to say, nice surge by the Blue Eagle offensive line. Really is, you know, we're standing there after a big hard pass rush, trying to catch our breath, and then they come right at us, pick up that 1st down easily. 6:04 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Magnolia with a 1st down in 10 yards. And, you know, it's hard to say the way they've been rolling out. Been pretty effective for them, and then thrown out in the flats. We might look for something like that again. We go shotgun, split right and left. And just like we talked, Matt, about what we expected, and that's what they did. But sometimes you might know the play, but you still have to execute. And Magnolia did execute that time for a nice 12-yard pickup.
Yeah, it's not like we didn't have the defenders there either. And I mean,
right.
They were there just a nice thrown ball, and right in the numbers is where you want it.
Oh, what are you doing here?
He's going to call a personal foul, late hit. I took my eye off the quarterback at the last second.
I tell you, Andy, that was awful close. It's hard to stop your momentum, which I think they're supposed to give a little bit of.
He's saying they grabbed the face mask from his call there, Matt. I didn't see that. Like I said, I took my eye off the play. I looked out here in the flat. But evidently he's seen something. Don't need to give him any help, that's for sure.
And that's a 15-yard penalty, Andy. So here's Monroe Central again, with kind of like I said before, their backs against the wall.
About the same situation they's in just seemed like a few minutes ago. Got to regroup on 1st down. They're going to trips to the right. They're going to send. Yeah!
That's a fumble. That's a fumble.
Yeah.
Monroe Central recovers.
Oh, yeah, there you go. He called it. Yeah, it's a fumble. Fumble, yeah.
His arm wasn't going forward, Andy, when he got hit, so that is considered a fumble.
Right. I just wondered, Matt, if he's going to huddle there and try to call something else. But
the one referee went up immediately and called it. So
right. That's the way to take charge here.
That's
it's
right.
huge. Okay, that's what pressure does all night. Looked like we brought an outside linebacker or quarterback.
Yeah, it looked like an outside blitz.
And able to get into Kemp there. Take him out.
Another fumble.
Come on. Come on.
Monroe Central recovers. Well, I guess that's one thing Jay's going to be working on next week is these fumbles, because it's basically a dry field down here.
I tell you what, there's no room to run. Magnolia's stepping up hard, and they're going to have to pick up a few first downs here. We'll be punting from deep in our own end again.
Wishbone formation. Give to Brown. He turns the corner. He picks up a first down.
Looked like a belly six there, Matt. Brown finally found some running room. That right side of that offensive line there, able to make a hole in Brown's quickness. I mean, exactly what the doctor ordered there.
Exactly. That's a good job by the interior lineman there too, sealing off their blocks and making sure that nobody has a good pursuit on them.
So a little room to not relax, but a little room to operate down here.
A little breathing room.
You can see both teams trying to catch their breath. Yeah, I seen what he saw, but
Gordon up the middle gets about I would say probably about 3 yards out of that.
Yeah, got to be careful, Matt. I heard a fan yell some sort of motion, and I thought I did see something for us, but the referee not able to see it, and maybe got away with one. Got to concentrate. Fourth quarter, it's a physical game, but sometimes, it becomes a mental game, obviously, especially in the fourth quarter when, you have the lead.
And you're tired. Everybody's tired out there by now. I mean, this does take a lot of wear and tear on your body. And their central wishbone formation. Looks like a little counter play there, Andy.
Yeah.
Give to Brown up the middle, and he picks up another first down.
I'll tell you what, you wonder, they've been stuffing all night, and it's like Coach Briggs and the gang have saved something here, and the linemen have saved something. And just when we talked about needing a few first downs and using the clock, that's exactly what we did with a little counter action back to Brown Dogger.
Now, I'm sure Coach Briggs is up here in the press box, and I'm sure he's been doing this for years. He has a pretty good eye, so I'm sure he saw a few things in there that Magnolia's doing wrong that we can capitalize on.
And just power football as we line up. Well, that's power defense against power football, but we lined up double tight, wing right, and everybody's right there. And Magnolia stepped up. Number 33, Carroll, had put a good stick on him.
That's a pretty good lick there on Brown Dog.
Regardless of the outcome of tonight's game, both teams are going to go on and win a lot of football games.
Oh, sure they are.
So it's a good battle here.
Magnolia, I know they've lost one this year, but it was against a good Shenandoah team.
So it's like a bone formation. The coach is up here in the box are yelling. That's their bone. That's the bone six or the belly six play. You can hear the coaches yelling, but they can't make the plays and the tackles for them.
Looks like Magnolia calls a timeout.
Yeah, Matt, if you really think about that, you see that wishbone look here. You pretty much, you don't know because you got the big three with Brown, Gordon, and Ishii. But 2 hole, 6 hole, or 8.
Well, there's a lot of other things you can run out of that wishbone formation there too. You can run your counter plays and trap plays too. And we also got some pass plays off that wishbone.
But right now, Magnolia call a timeout. 3rd and 6, 2:26 to go
here.
Here we go, Matt. Big 3rd down call. And, you got to believe with the Seminoles' outstanding defense that if they don't pick up anything in here, they'll be forced to punt. So we'll see what Coach comes up with on 3rd down.
You say maybe try to look for a tight end out here, Andy. I don't know. He gives a Brown on the outside.
He picked up the first down. Tell you what, Matt, Brownie put his head down, took the defender ahead 2 or 3 yards, wanted the first down.
Looks like Brown's hurt.
I'm not sure if it's a knee or.
I don't know. Looks like he took a good shot to the head, and I could be wrong, but
He seems to be.
he's moving around an awful lot. So
Just an outstanding effort there by Brown. Is
could be a cramp too, Andy. Looks like maybe they're trying to
Right.
rub it out a little bit. I don't know. Like I said, it's not real cold tonight. It's kind of damp and not real humid, but it's kind of warm, so you will get cramps.
but you could tell from up here that Brownie smelled the first down, put his head down, lowered his shoulder, and actually took a couple blue jerseys ahead for a couple yards for just a huge first down.
That was a good effort by Brown on that play. Like you said, he got past his blockers, and when you get past your blockers, you're basically on your own. And like you said, he put his head down, got the couple extra yards that he needed, to pick up the first down.
Right, he's going to be just fine, Matt.
I tell you what, real good effort by Aaron Brown here tonight. Especially offensively.
Mm-hmm. And we talk about huge first downs and running yards and finally getting a running game going a little bit. And looking at the scoreboard here, it says Magnolia's only got 1 timeout left. So the key right now is for Ishii to watch the play clock. Like right now, Matt, Ishii doesn't have to take a snap for about 20 more seconds. So he can take that clock down, and I'm sure he's aware of it.
Yeah, you can tell he's looking at it, Andy. Yeah, it was perfect.
So Ishii took it, well, that was perfect, all except for we lost 5 yards, but Magnolia, from what we got, will use their last timeout, I believe. So the key right now, Matt, is to keep the ball, inside the lines, keep the clock moving, try to run the ball, try to gain positive yards and use the play clock.
Like you said, and the key thing to that is keep the clock moving.
And hold on to the ball, of course.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's not like Coach Cost is going to, want, or have to have another score here. Because like you said, good defensive effort by both teams. Might be happy just come out here with a 6-0 win.
Right.
I shouldn't say happy, but
But I tell you what, you got the big Gabe Gordon, the big train in the backfield. Now it may be Gabe Gordon time right now.
Well, like I said, if you want to run the clock out, it'd probably
Right.
be the best thing to go to. Then again, could be a different running back that you haven't gone to all night.
Right. Brown Dog is back in there. I believe he's back in there.
He's back in.
Glad to know he's all right.
I formation, wing right. You have the Brown Dog up the middle.
He's definitely all right,
I'll
Matt.
tell you what, he almost picked up another first down. He's
He
awful
did.
close.
Yeah, I was going to say, Matt, they're moving the sticks right now. Yeah, they're moving them.
Another good effort by Aaron Brown on that run. And of course,
fourth quarter, Matt. Fourth quarter right there.
That's right. I'm not going to take anything away from the offensive line either, Randy. They did a heck of a job opening up a hole for him.
Yeah, they sealed back, and you could probably tell me a little bit about that play. I'm not sure what that play would be, but
it looked like basically just like maybe a 35.
Just a basic isolation series where we do a little double teaming.
Brown again. He picks up about another, 6 yards on that.
Tell you what, Matt, and they can't stop the clock. And let's just take a look at this right here. He's going to set the ball right now with about a minute to go.
Enough time for maybe 2 at the most.
All right, we just got to hold on to the ball, Matt, and they can't stop the clock.
Give to Gordon up the middle.
And I tell you what, Matt, this could do it. Let's see when they set the ball. Yeah, this would be it, Matt. We don't have to run another play. Nope, we don't have to run it. It's over. Another huge defensive effort. Another goose egg on the board. Unbelievable.
That's a heck of a defensive effort by both teams. And I'll tell you what, and heck of an offensive effort by both teams. But Monroe Central again comes out with another shutout, and might not have been the prettiest game in the world, but they did win the ball game, and next week we got a big matchup with Shenandoah, who I'm sure will probably be coming into the game undefeated too.
Right, that ball game, Matt, there'll be fans from all around the High Valley wanting to see what this Zep team's made out of. Of course, always see a good ball game out there at Woodsfield. Can't say enough about the defense, about the pass rush, about the pass secondary, and, finally getting the rushing game going there. Really key to the end of the game, obviously. You know what I mean? You take it down, we know we're going to run the ball, and they know we're going to run the ball, and we get her done. Yeah. Strong effort there by Brown Dog in the fourth quarter. Fine effort by the offensive line. That takes us to the big 6-0, and, you wonder where we'd be this time during the summer because we lost so many seniors, this and that, but can't say enough about
I'll tell you, these kids have really
Seminoles.
stepped up. I think, like I said, our defensive effort has been great. I think offensively we might have to step up maybe a notch or two, come next week. And, throughout the rest of the year because we do have some other big opponents coming up too. So for Andy and Matt, is Monroe Central 6, Magnolia Blue Eagles nothing. And we will talk to you next week. Until then, have a good weekend.